Fight? You want to fight? You want to fight?
The wig came off twice. She had a little fro. She looked like Ice Spice.
The streets are buzzing with wild chaos right now because this situation just blew up. JT is snapping on Lil Uzi after his assistant filed a lawsuit claiming he kept crossing serious lines at work. She says he sent unwanted NSFW messages, made inappropriate moves on the job, and created a straight-up toxic environment that had her stressed out every day. And now people are whispering that she might be pregnant, which has the whole timeline going crazy with talk about possible child support drama. This twist got everyone watching close. But here's where it gets even messier. This is not the first time Uzi has been tied to cheating scandals. Reports and old rumors have been floating around for years saying he was wrapped up in multiple affairs behind JT's back, and insiders claim this kind of behavior has been a pattern for a long time. Folks close to JT are saying this might be the last straw she's willing to deal with. She's standing tall on her own, because between the workplace misconduct claims, the pregnancy rumors, and the talk of legal battles, this whole situation has all the ingredients of a major meltdown. And with JT calling him out loud and clear, Uzi is about to face some heavy months ahead. Things stay messy with JT and Uzi because it's always another problem popping up with them. It hasn't even been long since they got dragged into drama involving Cardi B, and now they're stuck in a scandal that's big enough to shake up their entire relationship. Just a couple of days ago, Uzi got officially sued by his former assistant, who's going by Jane Doe, because she filed the case anonymously. And here's the twist. His management team, Roc Nation, got named in the lawsuit too. One thing about Roc Nation is that they keep powerhouse lawyers on deck, ready to fight nonstop. Reports say Jane Doe filed the lawsuit in California Superior Court, accusing Uzi of persistent sexual harassment. The lawsuit breaks down some serious accusations, and the details are wild. The assistant says Uzi had her dealing with nonstop pressure through messages and comments, plus being forced to stay available 24/7 while traveling across the US, Europe, Asia, and Australia. She claims she was working marathon shifts, anywhere from 12 to 39 hours with no overtime pay at all. According to the court papers, which also mention his management team, she says defendant Wood spent 2 whole years hitting her with unwelcome messages and advances while she was working as his artist management coordinator.
Que hablabas con Lil Uzi en específico. Hay una persona que lo conoce a él, que me conoce a mí, que sabemos de ti. Y él me dijo que él tenía algún tipo de interés en ti, además de los besos que pasaron. ¿Tú no sientes que por tu comportamiento lo alejaste y por una situación?
En verdad ahí fue que yo le gusté más a él. Me dijo, wow, Lil Diamond. Pero yo hablo con él, por aquí se oye, Tom.
Sí.
Llámame por WhatsApp. Llámame por WhatsApp.
Tú sabes, los tigres se meran. Si no te hablan en español, los tigres americanos no corren.
The documents even list some examples of the messages she says he sent her, including, I sent you something on Vanish. Come rub me down before you leave. I'm by myself right now. Send me something and let me see that booty. She also says that when she rejected those advances, he allegedly made her work environment harder and colder toward her, which pushed the tension through the roof. Sadly, situations like this happen more often than people think, and she claims the behavior didn't stop there. She also says he allegedly used substances a lot, and when he was under the influence, he would crash out on her heavy, snapping for no reason. She even says that during one of those moments, he told her, "You're more than my assistant, you're my bee," which left her uncomfortable and confused about the boundaries. Fans have been speculating for years that Uzi might be using heavy substances, and honestly, he's never really denied it. He did say in the past that he was trying to go sober, which a lot of people respected. But if what the assistant claims is real, then that sober journey might not be holding steady anymore.
The wig came off twice. She had a little fro. She looked like Ice Spice.
The substance part might not shock longtime followers, but the assistant's claim that he was cruel toward her definitely hit people hard. Even people who ride for Uzi weren't expecting that kind of detail. People are stunned because Uzi has always carried this calm, nice guy image, and most folks who met him only had positive things to say. So hearing that all of that might have been a front has everybody thrown off heavy in 2025. But hold up, because the situation gets even messier. Roc Nation is named in the lawsuit too, and the assistant claims they were allegedly aware of everything going down behind the scenes. Reports say she was working brutal hours on tour, sometimes 30 hours straight, and still expected to be reachable around the clock. She also says she kept paying out of her own pocket for work stuff like flight Wi-Fi, meals, supplies, and travel expenses, which added up fast. And when she tried asking Uzi's manager, Amina Diop, for reimbursement or overtime pay, she claims she was told she only had rights to her base salary of $50,000, which is shocking because that amount is tough for this economy. But in 2023, she thought things were finally turning around. She says she got officially placed on Roc Nation's management team as an artist management coordinator after a meeting with CEO Desiree Perez. According to reports, they agreed her salary would start at $100,000, with the promise that her performance reviews would raise her pay as she proved herself. But she claims those performance reviews never happened, even though she kept requesting them again and again. And instead of reviewing her pay, she says they kept piling more responsibility on her plate with no raise at all. She even claims that by December 2023, Uzi's girlfriend JT started using her as her assistant too, without giving her any extra pay. The court documents laid all of this out loud and clear. The filing claims that in December 2023, defendant Woods' girlfriend, Javia Johnson, fired her own assistant and then got permission from him to use Plaintiff Doe as her assistant too. For the rest of that month, Jane Doe says she was juggling work for both Uzi and Ms. Johnson at the same time, with zero extra pay for the extra responsibilities she took on. That alone had people raising eyebrows. The situation makes it look like JT either didn't want to pay for an assistant or wasn't in the position to hire one at the time, so she just ended up using the assistant Uzi already had. Folks online started joking that if they're already sharing bags, as Cardi once said, then sharing an assistant must have felt like nothing to them. But the interesting part is the timing. All of this connects back to when the City Girls split up because their music wasn't selling the same. And fans began questioning if JT skipped paying Uzi's assistant simply because she might have been dealing with serious career setbacks. In her filing, Jane Doe asked for unspecified punitive damages for harassment, unpaid overtime, lack of reimbursement, emotional distress, and more. People were saying the case sounded solid and that she might actually have a real shot at winning. But then out of nowhere, she shocked everyone. She dropped the entire lawsuit without warning. The whole internet froze because nobody expected that move at all. Then came the plot twist that sent the drama to another level. Rumors started surfacing that her first filing may not have told the full story. The whispers say that she and Uzi allegedly had something going on behind the scenes, and things got even more complicated because she reportedly ended up pregnant. So while proving harassment in court might be tough, that doesn't mean Uzi is out of trouble. Word on the streets is that she might be gearing up for a different kind of legal hit, one involving paternity and child support. And if that actually happens, it's about to turn this already wild situation into something even more explosive. This situation has turned into a full-blown disaster, and things are spinning out fast. JT is definitely not handling the chaos the way people expected. Folks thought she would stand firm behind Uzi like she always does, but instead she deleted her whole Twitter account, which makes it look like the situation may have even more layers than anyone on the outside knows. Now reports are saying JT has been snapping on Uzi, not just for cheating rumors, but also because of talk that he might have gotten someone else pregnant. For a while now, there's been chatter that JT has wanted a baby with Uzi, but he wasn't open to it. Cardi B even mentioned that last month when JT tried to go at her man. JT had tried to clown Stefon Diggs by calling Cardi B baby father a gay man, and the backlash was instant. She tried to explain by saying it wasn't about how he dresses or expresses himself, but because Chris said it out of his mouth. Then she added, "Justice for Chris, I stand with the gay, this is effing nuts, and gay men should be protected," trying to clean it up. The whole situation left social media confused and heated. Cardi didn't hold back either. She clapped right back by dropping some serious claims about JT and Uzi. Cardi said, "I want justice for them babies. Your man make your remove every time?" She followed it with even more heat about what Uzi allegedly told her regarding wanting someone named Britt to show up in court and being upset when she didn't. Cardi even said, "Or do I need to play the audio?" hinting she had recordings, and then added, "And don't let me say what he was saying about Roc Nation. That comment alone sent the internet into chaos because anytime Rock Nation is mentioned, people assume there's a whole deeper situation brewing behind the scenes. And now that pregnancy rumors are tied to everything else going on, JT deleting her account suddenly makes a lot of sense. This entire situation is reaching another level of messy. JT going off on Uzi makes perfect sense because she was already fed up. And anyone who follows her knows she snaps hard whenever Uzi even looks in another woman's direction. Uzi has been hit with cheating rumors more times than people can count. And in the beginning, JT tried to defend him every single time, saying folks were just hating on their relationship. She even tweeted, "As long as me and Uzi beneficially, it's been fiction and other facts when it came to women. Y'all want him to be a cheater so bad he's not. Actually, I was mad about something super petty." She kept trying to shut down the rumors, but by 2023, nobody was shocked when JT and Uzi broke up again. At this point, nobody's even keeping track because it's like watching the same movie on repeat. But this breakup was extra messy because their back and forth has basically become a masterclass in emotional chaos. Things started heating up when JT unfollowed Uzi on Instagram. And everybody knows that in celebrity world, an unfollow is basically the digital version of throwing someone's stuff out the window in front of the whole neighborhood. It's a loud, clear message. I'm done. Right after that, JT posted a shady message on her IG story saying, "Watching someone change on you and pretend to be completely unaware of what they doing. Really the worst feeling ever. But the best thing about repeated T betrayal is you get stronger." That post had the internet shaking because it sounded like somebody pushed her way past her limit. Then she added another layer by sharing a screenshot from a song that said, "I don't like men, I don't like beasts, I don't like nobody," which made fans think she was officially over everything and everyone. People were reading between the lines heavy, and it was clear JT wasn't holding anything back anymore. They did end up getting back together after all that chaos, but everything was still wild and unstable. And one thing about JT is that she gets extremely possessive when it comes to Uzi, snapping every time another woman even stands too close to him. A perfect example is how she reacted toward Ice Spice at the 2023 BET Awards after Uzi name-dropped Ice Spice during his performance. JT clearly didn't like that moment, and things escalated when Uzi and Ice Spice were seen talking right after the performance. JT wasn't having it at all, so she walked right up, confronted him on the spot, and even threw his phone at him in front of the crowd. The whole moment had people speechless. Then, surprise, surprise, even more cheating scandals popped up months later. One of his alleged side pieces came out and spilled everything with zero filter. A Dominican artist named Manure Queen sat down on a Spanish podcast and laid out their situation with no hesitation, holding nothing back. But the twist that had everyone stunned was her saying that Lil Uzi was out here learning Spanish just to communicate with her. She doesn't speak English and he doesn't speak Spanish, but he was reportedly so determined to keep talking to her that he started taking Spanish lessons just for this connection. This man was putting in serious effort for something he definitely shouldn't have been entertaining. She also claimed he would talk to her in a grown way whenever things got heated between them, which had social media in disbelief. Basically, he wasn't just dipping into a side situation, he was fully invested in it. And while all this was happening, JT was either deep in denial or simply choosing to ignore the signs because she didn't want to face the situation head on. But now, with rumors swirling about a possible pregnancy and an alleged paternity case on the horizon, it's going to be extremely hard for her to stay in denial anymore. Things are boiling over fast, and the next part of this story is where everything gets even more explosive. They might have gotten back together after all that chaos, but the situation stayed wild and unstable from the jump. And one thing about JT is that she gets serious when it comes to Uzi, snapping instantly if another woman even steps too close. A perfect example was how she reacted toward Ice Spice at the 2023 BET Awards after Uzi name-dropped Ice Spice during his performance. That moment had tension all over it. JT clearly didn't appreciate that shout-out, and things heated up even more when Uzi and Ice Spice were spotted talking right after the performance. JT wasn't having it at all, so she walked straight over, confronted him in front of everybody, and even threw his phone at him right there on the spot. The whole crowd froze because nobody expected her to go off like that. Then out of nowhere, more cheating rumors popped up months later. One of his alleged side pieces came forward and dropped every detail with zero hesitation. A Dominican artist named Manure Queen sat down on a Spanish podcast and spilled everything with no filter, leaving nothing hidden. But the detail that sent the internet into shock was her saying that Lil Uzi was out here learning Spanish just so he could talk to her. She doesn't speak English, he doesn't speak Spanish, but he was reportedly so dedicated to keeping their connection going that he signed up for Spanish lessons just for her. That level of effort had people stunned because it showed he was going far beyond casual flirting. She also claimed he would talk to her in a grown way whenever things got heated between them, which had social media in disbelief. At that point, it became clear he wasn't just entertaining something on the side, he was fully locked in. And while all this was happening, JT either didn't want to believe it or chose to ignore what was right in front of her because facing the truth would have been too much. But now with rumors about a possible pregnancy and talk of a paternity case allegedly on the way, it's going to be nearly impossible for JT to stay in denial anymore. Things are spiraling fast, and this whole situation is turning into a full timeline meltdown. If you want the next update when the story blows up even more, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment so you don't miss the next chapter.